In the last video, we saw how the pioneers left their indelible marks on the land, carving the deep Guernsey ruts through sheer, unstoppable force. But decades later, during the collapse of the Great Depression, the next generation faced a different question. How do you build a legacy when your country is broken? This is the story of the Civilian Conservation Corps' deliberate mark, the army of young men who arrived at places like Guernsey to build hope, one stone at a time. One stone at a time. It's a deceptively simple phrase. I learned from a local historian that her family member who worked on this very park was asked what he did all day. His reply was always the same: cut stone. That was the day-to-day reality. Slow, meticulous, back-breaking work, repeated thousands of times until it became this magnificent structure. To truly understand the Civilian Conservation Corps, we have to understand the chaos they rose out of. When the Great Depression hit, unemployment rates soared. President Roosevelt created the CCC as part of the New Deal, targeting unemployed, unmarried young men between the ages of 18 and 25. This offered a lifeline to a generation at risk of becoming permanently lost or wandering the country as hobos. The goal was not only to restore the land, but to restore the hope of a generation. This was a massive mobilization. Over 9 years, the CCC established more than 4,500 individual camps across the country, employing a total of 3 million young men. The program was open to all, thanks to a non-discrimination clause added by Oscar DePriest, the only African-American member of Congress at the time. Yet, while the CCC provided a lifeline to hundreds of thousands of men of color, it operated within the segregated reality of 1930s America. The vast majority of camps were strictly segregated by race, often with unequal resources. Through their efforts, they rebuilt vital infrastructure, improved natural resources, and laid the foundation for the modern state and national park systems we enjoy today. Regardless of race, in return for their rigorous work, these young men received 3 meals a day, housing, medical care, and $30 a month. Crucially, they were required to send $25 of that wage home to their struggling families. This wasn't just conservation, it was economic relief and a restoration of dignity, a deliberate mark that simultaneously rebuilt the nation's infrastructure and the American family. The Civilian Conservation Corps had a mandate to preserve nature, but their enduring legacy lies in their exceptional craftsmanship. They created a unique style known as parkitecture, using native materials, local stone, timber, and logs, so the buildings look like they grow right out of the landscape. Their scope of work was comprehensive. It wasn't limited to one area, but included all vital infrastructure. They constructed bridges and roads along mountains and challenging terrain, crafted stone stairways on trails and pathways, and created picturesque parks across America. Remarkably, many of these structures still stand and function today, showcasing the skill and dedication of the young men who built them. Their work not only transformed the natural environment, but also left behind a legacy of artistry and durability that continues to enrich our national parks and communities today. Every detail is beautiful, from the intricate stonework and the way the logs interlock to the careful construction of the furniture they crafted. It all reflects their pride and purpose. This dedication to quality transformed the American park system. The young men of the CCC weren't just laborers, they were trained artisans, utilizing traditional skills like stonemasonry and carpentry. The legacy of the CCC is visible in the lasting structures we still enjoy today. While their hands rebuilt America's infrastructure, these young men reshaped America, leaving behind a legacy of enduring beauty that continues to define our national landscape. And nowhere is this enduring legacy of craftsmanship more visible than right here at Guernsey State Park, where the CCC's fingerprint is on everything. This is the Guernsey State Park Visitor Center and Museum, the largest structure in the park. Remarkably, the museum was intentionally sited so that its main doorway perfectly frames the distant peak of Mount Laramie. The museum took about 6,000 man-hours to build, at a cost of about $3,200 in the mid-1930s. This remarkable artistry emerged from an extraordinary effort. The construction of this museum was a Herculean feat, where massive native stones were quarried on site and meticulously lifted into place by hand. This not only exemplifies the physical strength of the CCC workers, but also highlights the careful planning and design that transformed sheer muscle into a vision of beauty. Just a short drive from the museum is another stunning CCC structure called the Castle. This is without a doubt the most spectacular picnic shelter I have ever encountered. Now this is a picnic spot with a view. Completed in 1935, its design features sturdy stone bulwarks and a massive fireplace on the lower level, evoking the feel of a medieval fortification. However, rather than serving as a fortress, it was meant as a communal gathering spot. Perched on the highest point in the park, the castle is a two-story marvel with a unique stonework design that resembles a spiral. This spiral encompasses a circular staircase, guiding visitors to the turret-like observation platform at the top. From this elevated viewing point, I'm treated to a breathtaking panoramic view of the lake and a view of the surrounding parklands as well. Alongside the museum, the castle was conceived as a showcase. But wait, there's one more over-the-top structure here. This is, quite possibly, the most opulent outhouse in America. Dubbed the $1 Million Biffy by the CCC workers, Biffy was slang of the time for an outhouse or privy, and this incredible structure, built with the same flawless masonry as the castle, makes the nickname feel perfectly ironic. Now, while the exterior is a masterpiece, the interior is still a 1930s stone outhouse. I only peered inside briefly, but it's a testament that for the CCC, there was no such thing as just a bathroom, only another opportunity for enduring quality. All three of these amazing structures at Guernsey State Park stand as a model for park facilities throughout America. Today they represent a striking emblem of the CCC's dual mission to both protect the land and craft architectural beauty to last for generations to come. The CCC's work paved the way for the preservation of these lands, but preserving the land is only half the story. Preserving the history requires a deliberate choice made at the community level. That's why I've driven to the Pioneer Memorial Museum in Douglas. Like many local community museums, stepping inside feels like walking into Grandma's attic. It's filled with everything. From military items and saddles to Pony Express memorabilia and carriages, it's here. There's a fascinating abundance of history. Viewing the military section provides a quick study in the evolution of combat. These objects, like this Civil War sword and this World War I and II era equipment, are more than just relics. They represent the sacrifices made by local men and women. But the core of the museum is dedicated to the volatile history of the frontier. I found two exhibits especially compelling: the collection of Native American artifacts, which includes the actual teepee used in the film Dances with Wolves, starring Kevin Costner, and the gripping account of the infamous Johnson County War. This was a violent range war that stemmed from a clash between Wyoming's wealthy cattle barons and smaller homesteaders. Fearing the newcomers were rustling their cattle, the barons took the law into their own hands. 2 years prior to the conflict, ranchers Jim Averill and Ella Watson were lynched for daring to homestead on land desired by the barons. Although Ella is often remembered as the only woman hanged in Wyoming, historians now believe the rustling charge was fabricated. Their gruesome deaths were a catalyst for the ensuing violence. Ignoring this, the cattle barons escalated by hiring over 50 gunmen, creating a death list of accused rustlers. They invaded Johnson County only to be besieged by a local posse, which led to a tense standoff. As the situation worsened, the posse constructed a makeshift battle wagon, the Ark of Safety, intending to dynamite their way to victory. Federal troops ultimately intervened to end the siege and prevent a massacre. Though brief, the Johnson County War symbolizes the struggle between privilege and the common settler, exposing the violence that defined the Old West. And for me, that's why this place is a quiet treasure. While the big interpretive centers tell the grand official story, it's local museums like this fill to the brim with personal artifacts and intimate stories that reveal the juicy tidbits and obscure finds of history. For instance, where else can you find an eclectic collection of saddles like this? Or a dedicated display to the evolution of women's undergarments? This museum is packed with forgotten treasures of daily life, right down to this amazing collection of hats and antique hat pins. But now, let's explore the core of the frontier story, beginning with the first people in this land. The creativity and skill of the tribes of this region are evident in every piece, from the intricate hand-woven Navajo blankets to their distinctive pear-shaped pottery, waterproofed with pinyon pine resin. Native American decoration evolved using materials from nature, like quills and bone, and later incorporating European trade beads and dyes. That remarkable craftsmanship is on full display in this fully beaded and fringed leather shirt and matching gauntlets. These were not everyday garments, but likely worn for ceremonial occasions or by a person of high social standing. The CCC and the local historians here in Douglas share a common mission. They understand that the lessons of the past, from the massive ruts of the pioneers to the beautiful stone walls of the CCC, must be deliberately preserved. It's a powerful cycle. The land shapes the history, and the people shape the land to keep that history alive. As the strawberry moon rises over Casper, Wyoming, I find a quiet moment to appreciate the timeless beauty of this landscape and the same sky that once looked down on the pioneers, soldiers, and tribes who journeyed through this land 150 years ago. Next up, the Pioneer Test and the Casper Trail Experience. Thanks for watching and happy trails!